This is going to be no fluff at all. This is literally the only two reasons you can't scale your coaching business. All right, this is going to be very straightforward. You might be surprised the answer is going to be quite blunt. All right, so hopefully you're ready for this. Hopefully I've prepped you correctly. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jack Bly. I built my first coaching business to $170K a month. And anyways, sharing, what I've learned along the way. But two things, all right? I'll draw these two lines here. And the first thing right here, all right, is going to be skills. All right, so this is very simple. Like, you probably know this inherently. All right, so skills. Obviously, if you don't have the skills to build a coaching business, like, you can't do it. Because even no matter how hard you work, whatever you do, it does not matter if you don't have the right skills. So what skills do you need here? Like, you need to know, number one, how do you actually acquire clients consistently? That's like one of the first things you need to know. All right, because if you can't do that, like, you have no business. There's no way of getting clients. All right, so that's lead generation, that's marketing, that's copywriting, that's persuasion, that's sales. All right, you need to have that down. You have that down in a predictable and consistent process. All right, other things you need to know how to actually, operationally run a business. How do you fulfill? How do you create a good product or service? How do you retain your clients? All right, how do you take care of the finances, the payments, all that stuff? All right, so there's fundamental skills you need to have. You know this. The other thing, which is the other problem that you run into, I'll go ahead and type this out. This is very simple. It's execution. All right, this is the stupid simplest way to break down. You're missing one of these things right now. You're missing skills or you're missing execution. Execution means you have the skills necessary, but for some reason you're just being lazy. You're not disciplined. You're not executing what you know you have to execute. You're not doing it. You're not doing the work. This is literally it. This is the only reasons in the universe why you're not scaling your coaching business. Like, this is it. So right now, like, consciously think about, decide, like, which of these, if not both, are you lacking right now? All right. And this should not be like, don't let this like hurt yourself. Like, I know you probably got a big ego, you're running a business, but for real, like, which of these do you struggle with? Which of these do you need more of? I know, speaking from my experience, I always need more skills. Always. If I want to keep on scaling, I need to scale up more and more and more. All right, execution always has to be there. This has to be a constant. I always had to execute. Now, skills-wise is a relatively easy fix. All right, to fix your skills, where's my drawing tool? All right, drawing tool is right here. So to fix this is pretty simple. Like, all we need to fix skills is, like, invest in the rights, mentor, education, whatever you need to do, course, something to fix your skill gap. All right, that's literally it. All right, be willing to invest in this. Like, don't be cheap. Like, obviously, like, the other thing you could do, I'll write this down as well because this technically is an option to fix your skill gap. All right, my pen. I need my pen working. Come on, man. All right, here we go. So the other thing you could do, I'll write this down, is you could, of course, invest lots of time to figure it out yourself. That's actually option number two. So it's really two options with skills. From my experience, I did try to do number one. And so for the first 16 months of my coaching business, I profited $0. And that sounds crazy. Like, I must sound like a complete idiot. I probably was. But 16 months, I made $0. I tried to do this route number one. Really just like, hey, look, I'm smart. I'm a smart dude. I can figure this thing out. But I had no clue what I was doing. And obviously had zero profit to show for it. So I invested a whole lot of time. I was working all hours of the day, abusing caffeine, and not any results came from it. Then I did decide to do route number two to scale up, and it worked. It worked quite well. All right, so that's just my experience with it. So I always choose route number one now. I'm obviously still investing some time to do that, but it's just in executing what I learned from mentors or from education courses, things I buy and invest in. And this has just been the fastest route to upgrade my skills. All right, so that's skills. That's pretty easy to figure out. If you're someone who, for some reason, has no money at all, then of course you can obviously still go this route number one. Just does take a lot longer, but it can be done. All right, so that's skills right there. That should solve your skill problem. The other problem here, which is a bit deeper seated, is execution. All right, so if you're someone who, like, you feel like you have the skills, like maybe you've done it before, you've had a big month, but it's dropped way off. Something's going on with execution. It could also be a skill gap if you have inconsistencies, like you don't know why you had a good month, That's still a skill gap. But if it's pure execution here, like for a fact, if you do X, Y, Z, you'll make money, you'll hit these record months, you'll scale, then execution here, here's a few things that I do. I'll show what's works for me. So I consider myself a relatively disciplined person, but I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. All right, there's some times where I start to slump down, start to get a little bit lazy or complacent. All right, making good money, hit some record months. I'm like, all right, cool, let's chill. Like, let me do bare minimum. It's just kind of naturally what has seemed to happen to me. And so here's a big thing that I do consistently. Something I'm doing right now, actually, is I create these challenges for myself, like 1 month long challenges usually, where I had to be like hyper disciplined. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on a 31-day challenge where I basically have to have these non-negotiables every day. I have to complete it. If for some reason I don't, then I lose 10K. All right, I pay someone $10,000. All right, this is written, like I already told them, we have an agreement in place, like it's a done deal. 10K if I'd miss it on one day, it's 31 days. And so that's something I recommend. All right, money backed challenge. Reason this has worked so well, I think, is because I literally have money on the line every single day. I wake up and I know, hey, I have $10,000 on the line today. If I don't do these simple things and execute, if I don't do these simple tasks. All right, so that's a big thing right there. Creating challenges for yourself kind of just like resets the water level, resets that discipline level. I do this probably once to twice a year. But yeah, that's worked really well for me. Other things execution-wise. That's a long line. Other things execution-wise will be accountability. All right, so this kind of ties into this. Obviously, there's accountability both into this, but this I mean more like social accountability. So if you're surrounded with people who are building something just like you, building this business just like you, or it tends to hold you more accountable. Or if you have business partners, if you just hang out with a peer group or a circle, if you have calls consistently, like a good thing you can do, I know my buddies do this, is that they'll just have calls with like other people in the space, like once a week, once every other week, and kind of update where they're at, tell them their current plans, kind of hold each other accountable. It's a great thing that you can do. All right, so more social accountability here. The other thing, execution-wise, that I will say is beliefs, or your belief system. So sometimes you have limiting beliefs that actually halt your execution. Limiting beliefs. Like sometimes you'll kind of tell yourself, I don't really care about, growing this thing, scaling anymore. I'm making decent money already, whatever. Or sometimes you'll tell yourself, I'm not sure if it's even possible to do this with my current model. I'll have to reshift everything, change everything. I don't even know if it's possible. Like, I don't know. You have these limiting beliefs that literally halt you from executing your process properly. All right, so that's the other thing you must audit, you must be aware of is, what are my beliefs? Do I have any limiting beliefs that are actually just holding me back from executing? Or just these lies I tell myself? All right, so that's the big three things I would say for execution-wise. If you're just a lazy person overall, you haven't been disciplined your whole life, you're going to need a whole lot of work. But you're here for a reason. You're trying to scale your coaching business. You probably have some level of, decent discipline. All right, so that is the video right here. Like, this is it. The only two reasons you can't scale. So literally note down right now, like, which of these two, if not both, do you need to fix? Do you have a skill gap where, like, hey, look, you can work hard, you can execute, no problem, but you literally just don't know what needs to be done to scale. Like, we just don't know. Like, we'll do the work, but like, what is the thing? All right, do this. Invest in the right mentor, education. Make sure they're legit. Like, please don't get scammed or don't look up any guru. Like, go to the right person. You can invest a lot of time, but I don't recommend it. Again, it just takes a lot of time. Time is your most valuable resource. All right, time is more valuable than money. So invest in money. All right, that's skills. Execution-wise, do one of these. I recommend you do a money back challenge. I'm doing this right now. One of my clients is also about to start doing this up as well. And get executed, man. Start doing the work. Like, work is necessary. Like, you can't sit back and sit on the beach, sip margaritas all day. It doesn't work. All right, you got to do some execution. That's the two things, though. So choose right now and go fix it. All right, that is the video. Hope this helps. If you are an online coach who is making anywhere from about $3K a month to $15K a month in your business, and you do want to scale, you want more clients, you want to make it consistent and predictable, then go ahead and click the first link below in the description. We can chat about how we can make this happen. All right, you're amazing, and I will see you soon.